There comes a moment, quiet, unannounced, when the truth finally taps you on the shoulder. Not as a scream, not as a dramatic ending, just a soft realization that settles in your chest and refuses to leave. This story begins there. It begins with you lying awake at night, staring at a glowing screen that hasn't lit up in hours. You tell yourself they're busy. You tell yourself you're overthinking. You tell yourself love is patient. Love is understanding. Love doesn't keep score. But somewhere deep inside, a voice you've been ignoring whispers, love doesn't feel like this. This is not a story about villains and victims. It's about people who want different things, and the quiet heartbreak of loving someone who does not love you back in the way you deserve. These are the 5 signs. At first, it felt natural. You texted because you missed them. You called because something reminded you of their laugh. You checked in because caring felt good. But slowly, something shifted. Days passed where the silence grew heavier. Conversations felt like doors you had to knock on instead of rooms you were invited into. You noticed how quickly they replied to others, how effortlessly they showed up elsewhere, while with you, there was always a delay. You began crafting messages carefully. Not too eager. Not too long. Not too much. You learned the art of pretending not to care while caring more than ever. And the truth is painful, but simple. When someone wants to talk to you, they do. When someone wants to see you, they make it happen. Love does not require strategy. Love does not make you feel like access to someone's time is a privilege you must earn. If you are always reaching, always initiating, always chasing the echo of their attention, then you are not being met halfway, and love cannot survive on one person's effort alone. They don't want to lose you, but they don't want to claim you either. You exist in the in-between, in the late-night conversations when they feel lonely, in the emotional closeness that feels intimate but goes nowhere, in the moments where they lean on you, but never stand beside you. They tell you how special you are, how much you mean to them, how they've never felt this way before. Yet when it's time to define things, to step forward, to choose, you feel them pull back. You are convenient, not committed to, familiar, not prioritized. You give them the benefits of love without the responsibility of it. And this is where many hearts get trapped, because being close feels almost like being loved, almost feels like enough. But almost is a dangerous place to live. Someone who loves you does not leave you wondering where you stand. They don't keep you on hold while they decide if something better might come along. Love chooses, clearly, repeatedly, without hesitation. If you're always waiting for clarity that never arrives, it's because the answer already has. You didn't start out asking for much, just honesty, consistency, reassurance. But somehow, every time you spoke up, the room shifted. Your needs were met with sighs, defensiveness, or explanations about why now wasn't the right time, why you were being sensitive, why you should just relax. So you learned to shrink. You stopped asking questions that made them uncomfortable. You ignored the ache in your chest when plans fell through. You convinced yourself that needing reassurance meant you were insecure, not human. But love does not punish vulnerability. Love does not make you feel guilty for wanting to feel safe. The right person doesn't hear your needs as demands. They hear them as insight into how to love you better. If someone consistently makes you feel like your emotional needs are a burden, it's not because you're asking for too much. It's because you're asking the wrong person. Listen closely, not to what they promise, but to what they imagine. They talk about their dreams, their goals, their plans for someday. And you notice something strange. You are never there. Trips are discussed without you in mind. Life decisions are made independently. The future is painted in broad strokes, and somehow you never appear in the picture. You exist in the present tense only. Good for now, helpful today, comforting in the moment, but absent from the long-term vision. And love, real love, naturally imagines a shared future. Not because it's forced, but because it feels obvious. When someone loves you, they think in terms of we without being asked. If someone cannot see you in their tomorrow, no matter how deeply you exist in their today, they are telling you the truth. Quietly. Consistently. This is the hardest sign to accept, because it's not about what they're doing. It's about what you're hoping. You love their potential. You hold on to glimpses, the kind moments, the promises, the version of them you believe could exist if only they healed, matured, or realized what they have. You make excuses for their absence. You translate indifference into fear. You convince yourself that if you just love them better, longer, softer, they will finally meet you where you are. But love is not a project, and you are not a waiting room. Someone who loves you does not require transformation before choosing you. They do not ask you to endure uncertainty while they figure themselves out at your expense. When you love someone for who they might become, you are quietly abandoning who they are and who you are right now. And that is not love. That is hope clinging to someone who is already telling you no. If someone loves you, you will not feel like an option. You will not feel confused. You will not feel like you're constantly auditioning for a role you already give everything to. Love feels steady. It feels mutual. It feels like rest, not anxiety. And the most painful truth of all is this. They are not confused. They are not broken. They are not unaware of what they're doing. They are simply not choosing you. And once you accept that, something incredible happens. You stop chasing. You stop proving. You stop begging for clarity from someone who benefits from your uncertainty. You turn back toward yourself. Because the moment you stop pouring love into someone who cannot return it is the moment you make space for the one who will never make you question where you stand. And that is the beginning of the story you actually deserve.